A pro-Obama super PAC is teaming up with a leading public employees union to launch a $4 million Spanish-language ad campaign trying to hit Mitt Romney where it hurts, with the Hispanic community.
You can focus on the very poor. That's not my focus.
¿Qué pasa con nosotros? ¿Dónde nos dejó?
Bill Burton is co-founder of Priorities USA, the pro-Obama super PAC, and John Brabender is a Republican political consultant who ran Rick Santorum's presidential campaign. Welcome to both of you.
Thanks.
First to you, John, do you think that that is going to be effective with Hispanic Americans? We just heard from Eric Fernstrom saying that Hispanics are as concerned about the economy as everybody else, and they're going to respond to the jobs numbers and to what they think that the president is or is not doing. But what about immigration and some of the other issues?
Well, first of all, I don't think this is about immigration. I think, end of the day, if you look at the Hispanic ad you just saw, if you look at the Bain Capital ads, they're all the same. What they are is they're somewhat divisive. They're middle-class warfare. And I believe what the Obama campaign has come to the conclusion is that they don't have a record to run on. You can't run on mediocrity. And so what they've decided is we celebrate success in this country, and everybody knows Romney has been successful. They're now going to try to taint that success. And so I think what they're going to try to do is discredit him with the middle class, be it Hispanic or be it with blue-collar voters in the Midwest.
Bill Burton, you designed or decided to run the ad, commissioned it. What is the strategy behind this ad?
Well, a couple things. You know, the message in this ad and a lot of our advertisements isn't that dissimilar to what John was saying when he was working on Senator Santorum's campaign, which is that Mitt Romney is a guy who's a lot more for Wall Street than he is for Main Street. And that's not class warfare. That's just an honest assessment of his policies. When we designed this ad, what we did was we talked to voters, and when we heard from Hispanic Americans, they were disturbed by the things that Mitt Romney had to say in his own words about the economy, about joking about firing people, joking about being unemployed. And so what we're doing is we're telling the story of Mitt Romney and what kind of values he has through just regular folks who live in the Hispanic community.
You know, John, we've been watching the healing, the coming together, and we've seen it in a lot of ways, of the Republican Party since the primary, and Mitt Romney has done a pretty good job, you could argue, of pulling everybody together. But then Jeb Bush, speaking on the at the Bloomberg breakfast today, and he's talking about back to my dad's time or Ronald Reagan's time. They got a lot of stuff done with a lot of bipartisan support that right now would be difficult to imagine happening because of the nature of the Republican Party right now. And your campaign partly symbolized the nature of the Republican Party, which has moved very far away from compromise and getting things done on Capitol Hill.
Well, the one thing I would say is our party is very unified for this reason. Barack Obama is the great unifier. The one thing that we understand is that higher taxes don't work. The one thing we understand is that Obamacare has put American jobs at great risk. The other thing that we realize is that if you compare records, where you have Mitt Romney unemployment rate in Massachusetts 4.7, this president 8.2, if you put those things together and show that to the American people, believe me, this entire country is going to be unified on who should be president.
But keep in mind that this was during a great boom time in this country, and Massachusetts actually went from 37th in the nation in job growth down to 47th in job growth. And so if you look at the trend lines, they were moving in the wrong direction. And just the Hispanic community, also unemployment has been moving in a downward trajectory as well. So I agree that there are two people with two competing visions, but you know, I think that when the American people size up the two different candidates, they want the one who has a proven record of growth, not what they saw in Massachusetts.
Then why are you running ads attacking Mitt Romney instead of running ads that promote this president's agenda, which nobody seems to be doing? So it seems to me that the Democrats have already given up on trying to show anything positive about
the
this
president is promoting his agenda and actually has tens of millions of dollars on TV talking about his agenda.
How well did he do in the briefing room on Friday promoting his agenda?
Well, you know, the whole reason that the president went out there was to talk about the fact that the economy is not growing fast enough, that we have to do more.
I know, but in reality, when he said that the private sector is doing just fine, what went on in your stomach as you were watching it?
Well, there's no doubt that, you know, there's a distraction that's been created here. Right. But if you look at how Mitt Romney responded to that by saying the lesson of Wisconsin is that Americans don't want more teachers, firefighters, and cops, that's just not where the American people are. And so to hear that from Mitt Romney, you get a very clear sense of what the two competing visions for this country are.
John Brabender, what is Rick Santorum's new proposal? Because I wasn't quite clear. I saw what he said on about it in Chicago on Friday. But what is this new campaign that he's
Well, if you go to patriotvoices.com, you can see for yourself. But where Rick Santorum got almost 4 million votes in the Republican primary, won 11 states, tied 2 others. When he was out there, he realized there's a great frustration of many voices in this country who feel like they are not being heard. And what he wanted to do was to galvanize these people, give them a voice by collectively being together. And
on behalf of Mitt Romney, I mean, is this the time to launch some other thing rather than getting behind the nominee?
Certainly getting behind Mitt Romney is something in the sense that one of the top priorities is beating Barack Obama. But it's also to give them a place to go to understand what's going on in Washington, and also to make sure that people that they do help get elected, they also hold them accountable that they live up to the promises that they say they're going to have.
Sounds like we haven't heard the last of Rick Santorum at all.
No, absolutely not.
And these candidates, the whole problem with the campaign is that we hear from these candidates and they keep misspeaking. If we could just watch the ads, then everything would be safe and well oiled. But that's another whole conversation.
We'll try to keep putting together good ads.
Right. Thank you very much, Bill Burton.
Thanks.
John Brayburger, good to see you again.
Pleasure.